My name is Claire Bennett. I'm 39 years old. And the moment I finally stopped letting my family control my life happened because of a beach house they believed belonged to them. I worked for years as a cybersecurity director in Atlanta. Most people hear that title and imagine money, prestige, and fancy offices. What they don't see are the sleepless nights, emergency calls at 3 a.m., and the constant pressure of cleaning up disasters before entire companies collapse. My phone never stopped buzzing. My vacations were interrupted. My stress became normal. That's why I bought the beach house. Not to show off, not to impress anyone. I bought it because I needed one peaceful place in my life that belonged only to me and my husband, Ethan. It was a quiet home on the South Carolina coast with soft gray floors, huge windows facing the water, and a back deck where I could sit without hearing alarms, phones, or demands. For a little while, it felt like freedom. Then my family discovered it. My father, Richard Bennett, loved acting like the head of the family meant he owned everyone around him. My mother Diane supported him quietly, usually through guilt instead of yelling. My younger brother Mason always needed money or favors. And my sister Lily treated every moment of life like content for social media. At first, the request seemed harmless. Mason wanted to borrow the house for a fishing trip. Lily wanted a girls' weekend to film beach content. My parents wanted a few relaxing weekends by the ocean. I kept saying yes because that's what I had always done. I was the responsible daughter, the successful one, the fixer. Whenever someone needed money, help, advice, or a solution, they called me. And slowly, without even realizing it, my family stopped treating my beach house like my property. It became the family beach house. The problem wasn't just that they visited. It was the way they acted while they were there. They left trash everywhere, wet towels on hardwood floors, food stains on furniture, random guests I had never met sleeping in bedrooms I paid for. My sister once posted a video online calling it the Bennett Family Beach Retreat, and strangers in the comments were asking how to rent it. When I asked her to remove the video, she accused me of hurting her career. My father defended her immediately. "Claire," he said, "it's just a house. You're doing well for yourself." That sentence became his favorite weapon. As if my hard work meant my boundaries no longer mattered. My husband Ethan noticed everything long before I admitted it. One night, after spending hours cleaning the house after my relatives left, he looked at me and quietly said, "They don't ask permission anymore. They assume." I got angry at him because I knew he was right. The real breaking point happened over Memorial Day weekend. I had just finished dealing with a major cyber attack at work. I barely slept for 4 days. My hands were shaking from stress. And Ethan suggested we escape to the beach house to recover quietly. The morning after we arrived, my mother called asking where we were. I told her we were at the beach house but specifically said we wanted a peaceful weekend alone. She sounded understanding. 3 hours later, 3 SUVs pulled into the driveway. My parents arrived first. Then Mason with his wife and kids. Then Lily carrying camera equipment and to friends. Coolers, speakers, folding chairs, beach bags. My father stepped out smiling proudly and said, "See? This is exactly what you needed. Family." Before I could even respond, everyone walked inside. Children ran through the house screaming. Music blasted from the deck. Lily started filming social media videos immediately. Someone spilled juice on the couch within the first hour. I spent the entire weekend managing chaos instead of resting. That night during dinner, my father told embarrassing stories about me in front of everyone while people laughed awkwardly. Then he looked at me and said loudly, "Maybe if Claire didn't want family here, she shouldn't have bought a house big enough to make everyone jealous." Nobody defended me. Not my mother. Not my brother. Not my sister. The next morning, after everyone left, Ethan and I spent hours cleaning sand, trash, broken dishes, and stains from every room. We even found a warning letter from the Homeowners Association about noise complaints. On the drive home, Ethan asked me a question I couldn't stop thinking about. "How many more times are you going to confuse guilt with love?" I didn't answer him because deep down, I already knew. A few months later, things got worse. Mason asked me to co-sign a business loan for his failing landscaping company. When I asked questions about finances, he got offended and accused me of acting superior. Lily wanted to host a sponsored influencer weekend at my beach house. When I refused, she told everyone I was selfish and controlling. Then my father called and gave me one of his long speeches about family loyalty and gratitude. He said my success had changed me. He said the family had invested in me growing up. Invested. Like raising me was some kind of business transaction I now owed repayment for. Still, I kept trying to keep the peace. Until the family reunion. One evening, I opened our family group chat and saw pages of messages planning a huge reunion weekend. At my beach house, 24 relatives, 3 days, sleeping arrangements already assigned, meal schedules, parking plans, and somehow, my parents had claimed the master bedroom in my own house. Then my father sent the message that changed everything. "Claire's beach house is perfect for the reunion." My mother immediately added, "Fill the fridge and don't make a scene." I stared at the screen, feeling that old pressure rise inside me. The pressure to explain myself, to compromise, to avoid conflict. But for the first time in my life, I didn't negotiate. I simply typed, "Not happening." The chat went silent. Then my mother replied with laughing emojis and wrote, "We're coming whether you like it or not." That's when something inside me finally snapped. The following Friday morning, I woke up before sunrise and started taking control of my own life. I called the gated community where the beach house was located and informed them no gathering had been approved at my property. I canceled every guest pass connected to my family. I changed all the lock codes. I notified security that only Ethan and I were allowed inside the property. Then we drove to the beach house ourselves. On the drive down, my phone kept buzzing. Mason asking about parking. Lily asking if the lighting would be good for sunset photos. My mother asking whether I had stocked enough breakfast food. None of them believed my no was real. When we arrived, I walked through the quiet house slowly. The sunlight reflected across the floors. The ocean breeze moved through the windows. For the first time, I realized how much I loved that house. Not because it was expensive, because it represented every sacrifice I made to build a life that belonged to me. Around 1:30 that afternoon, the security cameras showed the first SUV arriving at the neighborhood gate. Then another. Coolers strapped to rooftops. Kids in the back seats. My father leading the entire convoy like he owned the place. But the gate never opened. Security stopped every vehicle. My father called me screaming. "What did you do?" I calmly replied, "I protected my home." Then I hung up. The family group chat exploded. My mother accused me of humiliating everyone. Mason demanded to know why I hadn't warned them. Lily said I ruined a once-in-a-lifetime family memory. I answered with screenshots. My message saying not happening. My mother's demand to fill the fridge. Their room assignments. Their assumptions. Then one cousin finally asked the question nobody else wanted to ask. "Wait, Did Claire actually approve this? My father never answered. That silence exposed everything. Relatives slowly realized he had promised them access to a house he didn't own. Some apologized. Others got angry at him for embarrassing them. Meanwhile, nearby hotels were fully booked because of the holiday weekend. My father spent hours desperately trying to find rooms while relatives argued in parking lots. And for the first time in my life, I didn't fix the mess for them. That evening, Ethan and I sat alone on the deck drinking coffee while the sun disappeared over the water. No shouting, no guilt, no chaos, just peace. Real peace. After that weekend, I stopped rescuing my family from the consequences of their own behavior. No more loans. No more free access. No more apologizing for having boundaries. My father still sends angry emails, sometimes accusing me of betrayal. I never answer, because I finally learned something important. People who truly love you respect your no. People who only love your access will call boundaries cruelty because they lose control. When you stop giving in. For years, I thought keeping the peace meant sacrificing myself. Now I understand real peace begins the moment you stop opening the door to people who only come to take.